It's Tom Toole here coming to you with episode number 5 of Tom's Take. Today we're going to cover a very relevant topic in whether it's a buyer's market, seller's market, or somewhere in between, and it's 6 key questions to ask anyone who you're considering for the job of selling your home. So let's jump right in. Question number 1, what is the plan to sell my property? Great question. What a lot of consumers don't realize is that the average agent across the country has what I call a 3-point plan. They put a sign up, they put it on the internet, and they wait around for something to happen. Not nearly aggressive enough right now in today's market. There are so many different ways to tap into the likely buyer for your property through social media, targeted advertising, video, photography, all these things. If you have someone that's doing the bare minimum and relying on the MLS to get the home sold, you're not going to get the best result. Plain and simple. Question number 2, what are your statistics? And by statistics, I mean these 3 specific areas. What is your listings taken to listings sold ratio? So of the amount of homes that you list on an annual basis or for your career, how many of them have sold? What's the success percentage? The average realtor across the country is only selling 1 out of every 2 homes they list right now. That's not that great. 50-50 shot doesn't excite me. So you want to understand what the likelihood of getting the home sold is when interviewing an agent. Secondly, what is the average list to sales price ratio for homes you have sold? So how much can I expect to get for my property if I listed at X? Right now in our marketplace, the average is hovering around 86%. That's not that high. But what we're seeing is that when homes are selling, they're selling very close to the asking price. So it's important not to have your listing get bought by another agent. And what I mean by that is an agent comes in and tells you some great price that really excites you, and you hire them, and then a week later they're talking about a price adjustment because there's been no activity, and they knew that there was a very low likelihood the home would sell for that number. So understand the percentage of the listing price that's received by their clients. And lastly, what's the average days on market? How long does it take from hitting the market and going live to getting a contract signed? When you know all these 3 things, it's going to really show you who's going to get you the best result, which is the only reason you hire a realtor anyway. Question number 3, who's the buyer for my property? This is very critical because when you're marketing a home, you don't want to market it to people that aren't going to be a buyer. For example, you're selling a property in a 55 and over community. That's going to limit the amount of buyers you can have. You have a 1-bedroom condo. That's not going to be for a family. That's going to be for a first-time buyer or someone who's downsizing. Maybe someone who's relocating without a family. So understand who is the likely buyer for your property and make sure your agent understands that so the marketing efforts are directed at getting those people through the door because that's who's going to pay you the highest price and give you the best terms. Question number 4, what's your experience? And I'm going to actually dive a little deeper here on the 2 areas you want to ask about. The first one's a yes or no question. Are you a full-time agent? This is very simple to find out. The reality of real estate is there are a lot of people that sell real estate part-time. And when you do something part-time, you get a part-time effort and part-time results. I'm imagining that's probably not what you're looking for when selling what's one of your biggest assets. So a very simple yes or no question. And secondly, tell me about your past sales. How many homes have you sold over the past year, in your career, over the past 6 months? I look at this question as a very important one because when I go to a doctor, I want the doctor that's doing a surgery or a procedure every day the entire year, has it down to a science, has a process, and has a really good success ratio. Going back to question number 2. So find out what their sales are. The doctor I would not hire would be the doctor who's maybe done this once or twice and doesn't really know what they're doing. This is a major financial transaction and you cannot leave it up to inexperience, especially in today's climate or if the market changes. Question number 5, what are your reviews? Show me what past clients are saying about you right now. It's very easy to find this out. Look up your agent on Zillow, Trulia, Google them. All those things will show you what their past clients have to say. And that's going to, again, give you an idea of what to expect if you decide to hire them. And lastly, question number 6, who's your support team? Who's helping you with the process? What I know is that right now a team will always outperform an individual. There are so many different things we hit on in this quick video here It takes more than one person to do that. So do they have a photographer? Is there a stager on their team? Who's handling all the marketing? Meaning the graphic design and the tactical execution online to target the right buyer. These are just a couple of things that it's important to have an expert working on. So you want to make sure you have really a team of experts and not one person that's trying to do everything themselves. Because if they're trying to do everything themselves, they're not going to give you that high level expertise in each of the different disciplines that's involved in marketing a property. Let me know what you think. If there's any other questions you feel like I should add, comment on social, subscribe to the channel, like it, whatever you want to do to engage, reach out to us. We're happy to answer any other questions that we have for you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week.